Stationary bikes are a popular choice among home fitness equipment. They're easy to use in front of the TV, don't require a lot of effort, and lead to fast weight loss. But few people recognize the risks of using stationary bikes. We're here to discuss those hazards. But first, we'll review the advantages. The 10 exercise bike benefit stationary bikes have lots of advantages you already know, such as their convenience. Mimicking the same natural movements of a real bike, these are easy to use, comfortable, and can offer great results. Besides, some models are portable and foldable to save a lot of space in your home, while others have a slew of programs to help you train effectively. Here are some other strong points to consider. 1. Better cardiovascular health. Every time you hop on that bike and start moving your legs, your heart starts working too. The first advantage of a stronger heart, or the first one you'll notice, is that your blood pressure will decrease. As a result, your blood circulation will improve, reducing the risk of chronic or acute condition. For example, you're decreasing the chances of having a heart attack. Remember, you'll see improvements in a few weeks, but you need to challenge yourself. Try to pedal at least 3-4 times per week and a minimum of 20-30 minutes per session. Also, remember that people have different levels of fitness. If you're doing just 5 km per hour but challenging yourself, that's still an excellent starting point for your body. 2. Improve brain health. Your brain gets a kick out of cardio workouts that make your heart and lungs stronger. That's because that extra kick of oxygen and blood flow goes straight to your brain. As such, your command center can do its job better. It takes just a few days to see that you're sleeping better and are generally in a better mood. You'll have more energy throughout your day in a week or so, and you won't feel any brain fog. Soon you'll see mid or long-term advantages too, such as improved memory and a more robust immune system. 3. Better breathing. Many people believe that stationary bikes increase lung capacity, but that's just a myth. Your lungs volumes won't expand if you're using an exercise bike. Instead, your heart pumps blood more effectively and your muscles are more robust. That means they demand less oxygen to perform better. Notice how you're gasping for breath during your first few sessions, but each time you exercise, your breath stabilizes. That's your lungs working less because your muscles don't need extra oxygen. Therefore, you're improving your breathing. If you have chronic respiratory issues like asthma or chronic lung disease, exercise bikes may help alleviate your symptoms. Warning: ask your doctor for advice if you have pre-existing heart and lung conditions. 4. Weight loss. An hour of intense exercise on your stationary bike burns about 300 calories per 30 minutes. That's about a slice of pizza or a dough. However, how fast you're shedding those pounds depends on factors like your current weight, your age, your biological sex, your current fitness level, pre-existing endocrine issues, and the intensity of your workout. For example, a 35-year-old male who weighs 250 pounds, who's not very active but has no endocrine issues, can burn up to 300 to 400 calories on the bike if he's maintaining a high impact. On the other hand, a 50-plus petite female with hypothyroidism may burn just 100 calories during the same period and at the same intensity level. Advice: if you want to lose more weight faster, choose a HIIT type of workout that accelerates your metabolic rate. Also, wear a heart monitor so that you're exercising in your fat-burning zone. 5. Fat loss. Losing weight is one thing, losing fat is another. Many people who are doing mindless cardio shed a lot of water weight when they first start exercising. Afterward, they experience a plateau and get demoralized entirely, so they quit exercise altogether. So studies show that if you're serious about losing fat weight, you have to use your exercise bike for around 45 minutes a day, 3 times per week, and restrict your calories. However, drastic calorie restriction isn't your best bet in the long run. While it can have some effects in the short term, your body can't benefit from a limited amount of calories per day. Instead, eat to nourish your body. Stick to healthy foods and limit your cheat days. Remember that you can lose fat faster if you're doing high-intensity interval training on your bike and incorporating strength training into your routine. Besides, this fat loss isn't just to shape your body in a particular way. It's recommended because it will lower your harmful cholesterol levels. And guess what? The high number of triglycerides you see on your blood test results causes many problems in your body, such as clogged arteries and chronic liver issues. 6. Low-impact workout exercising on a stationary bike protects your joints and ligaments because you're executing fluid motions. That way, you can strengthen your muscles and bones without damaging them. So, an exercise bike benefits the elderly or mobility-challenged people. It can also help if you're pregnant or recovering from surgery. However, if you're going to use your stationary bike for rehabilitation, check with your doctor or physical therapist first. They'll be able to discuss the pros and cons of several types of bikes, from upright to recumbent, to see what fits you best. 7 stronger muscles. Everybody knows that using a stationary bike exercise is your leg muscles. The harder you're pedaling, and the higher the resistance, the better you'll shape your legs. However, that doesn't mean that low speed and low resistance levels are useless. This is a great place to start to warm up or even exercise if you have mobility issues. It's an excellent starting point if you want to improve your fitness level. The point is to challenge yourself, but not put yourself through painful workouts. That's how you'll shape and tone your muscles. However, it's also true that only high resistance levels can increase your muscle mass. Here's a secret that not many people know: working out on an exercise bike benefits stomach muscles. The reason is that you'll keep your abs and lower back muscles contracted throughout your workout. And obviously, higher speeds and resistance levels demand more contraction. So your core will be more toned. Apart from stationary bike benefits for legs and core, pedaling tones your arms too. That's because you'll contract your biceps and triceps when gripping the handlebars, especially during intense pedaling sessions. You'll also contract these muscles when you're standing up in the saddle. However, you'll feel this workout in your upper body mainly at the beginning when you're new to pedaling. After a while, your arms will get used to the effort because they're just supporting muscles. You're not targeting them specifically. So the best advice, if you want to tone and shape your entire body, is to dedicate 2-3 days per week to focus on your upper body and core. 8. Safe. Pedaling on a stationary bike is obviously safer than pedaling outdoors. Accidents and injuries are frequent on the roads, especially in humid or foggy weather. So pedaling indoors saves you a lot of hassle. You can start doing it first thing in the morning to dissipate your brain fog or just before bed. That's when most of us have enough free time. While exercising outdoors when you're tired can bring your exhausted brain some extra fresh air. And if you're not used to cycling, staying safe can be tricky. 9. Reduced risk of diabetes. Whether you've been diagnosed with pre-diabetes, diabetes, or a high risk of developing this condition, know that any endurance-based sport can help. When you're doing this type of exercise, your muscles use more of the glucose that would otherwise spike in your blood. And guess what the best low-impact endurance sport that you can do in your living room is? Yes, stationary bike riding. Apart from reducing your blood glucose, riding an exercise bike stabilizes insulin levels. When you have diabetes, your body secretes a lot of it because it's no longer responding accurately to the needed amount of this hormone. In turn, exercise decreases your body's insulin sensitivity so that your pancreas won't have to secrete so much of it. That way, pedaling on your indoor bike regulates your blood and insulin levels naturally. Better mood. Exercise in general improves your mood and reduces stress. Firstly, exercise helps because it accelerates endorphins and serotonin, hormones that make you feel happy. Riding your stationary bike also increases dopamine production so that you can feel accomplished too. Secondly, exercise reduces cortisol levels. In case you didn't know this, cortisol is the stress hormone, so it's the one to blame for your sour moods, anxiety, and crankiness. Besides, excess cortisol tires your brain, so it causes exhaustion, hazy vision, and the feeling of a stuck. Exercise bikes promote the production of happiness hormones and reduce your cortisol levels. However, you have to exercise regularly and spend at least 30 to 45 minutes pedaling to feel a genuine runner's high. The 4 exercise bike risks. Using a stationary bike has its risks, but only if you're doing this wrong. So let's start with the most common mistake, overdoing it. This leads to 1. Weight loss plateaus. Many people who want to get in shape start pedaling for hours at a time, trying to lose weight faster. And although it's technically accurate that you can burn up to 600 calories per hour, that's rarely the case. If you're starting at a high weight point, you'll see massive effects after the first few weeks. But if you're doing prolonged cardio sessions on your stationary bike, your metabolic rate will slow down as your heart gets used to the effort. So after a month or two of overdoing it, your weight loss will stagnate, or you'll even start putting on those pounds again. So to avoid that, limit your exercise to around 45 minutes a day, structure most of your workouts in high and low intensity intervals, and don't use your exercise bike daily. Do strength training on your break days. Injury. 3. Overdoing it on your exercise bike increases your risk of injury. The first thing you're going to notice is that sore bum, but that's not the worst part. The worst part is straining your muscles and ligaments. Muscles need recovery days to repair after intense effort. If you're not letting them heal, they won't grow properly. Besides, over-exercising pulls on your joints, so you're more likely to twist them. 3. Loss of motivation. Working out very hard and for very long feels like a punishment, so instead of increasing your dopamine levels, you're growing your cortisol, you're subjecting your body and brain to a lot of stress. At the same time, your muscles won't have time to repair themselves, and your weight loss will plateau. These things will bring your motivation down a few notches too. So the best thing you can do is know when to rest. 4. Ignoring other exercise. Training on your stationary bike all the time makes you ignore other types of exercises that you should include in your workout. For example, if every day is leg day, when is upper body day? Secondly, remember that riding a stationary bike isn't a full-on weight-bearing exercise. So if you want to increase bone intensity and strengthen your bones, you should alternate bike riding with weight-bearing activity. Bike has a lot of benefits for your heart. It keeps your heart and lungs healthy, it protects you from diabetes, and it keeps you happy. At the same time, this exercise is fantastic for shaping your body and improving your sleep. The only risk of exercise bikes stem from using them too much. Overdoing it will slow down your weight loss, affect your joints, muscles, and motivation. So, if you want to reap the advantages of a stationary bike, you should integrate other workouts into your routine. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe for more fitness-related stuff. Also, do you already own an exercise bike, or you're still not sure whether one is good for you? Please let us know in the comments box below.